question is for the environmental officer. If there was one thing that you had the power to change across all of the Carnival ships, what would it be?
That is a fascinating question.
Should I answer?
Yeah. To give a politically correct answer.
My favorite one is to eliminate the fossil fuels, if we can. Hydrogen or any type of alternative fuel would be the best for me. Yeah.
Awesome. And I believe a lot of our newer ships are running on those engines, right?
Sorry?
A lot of our newer ships are running on those engines, right?
Well, we have now LNG ships, which are methane. It still has CO2 as effluent on the stack, but the future is supposed to be more brighter.
So we are making strides in the correct direction. Thanks, Rosalind.
Hi, my name is Gary. 2 questions. What type of diesel do you burn? Number 2, low sulfur. Do you have other types of diesel that you burn? And then also miles per gallon, or maybe number of gallons per mile. What type of mileage do we get on a ship like this?
Ship has mad sea horsepower.
Okay, so for the fuel, we have 2 kinds of fuels according with the sailing area, with the area where we are sailing. So we have the heavy fuel oil, which is the residual from the distillate, from the oil that we get from the oil rigs, and we have the ultra low sulfur marine gas oil, which is a distillate like diesel oil. It depends with the sailing area, with the area where we are sailing, the regulation, which kind of fuel are we using. Now the consumption, we have 6 diesel generators. Each of them consumes around 460 gallons per hour. So according with the configuration, the required speed is how much the consumption. For example, right now we are with 5 diesel generators, so just need to make some numbers.
All right, we're coming right on over here. All right, dear, let's get one.
Hi, my name is Bridget. I have a question for the captain. For the going through the locks at the Panama Canal tomorrow, what are the things that you are most concerned about, and what should we as passengers be paying attention to as we go through the canal?
We ain't concerned about nothing.
Well, over there in the Panama Canal is the only place around the world when the pilot comes on board, he takes the cone and the charge of the vessel, because this is an extremely precise maneuver. Think about that we are 32 meters wide, and we have only 1 foot and 1 foot clearance on each side.
Wow.
Yeah. So therefore, I'm going to be nearby the pilot, and I'll be still the one maneuvering the vessel, because I know the vessel better than the pilot, but the pilot knows better, because he does this every single day, multiple times, so he does better all the procedures and the way we want to approach it. So as far as we know, the risk of making a little incident is almost known, because if you think about several ships every day for 365 days, and you never heard anything about Panama Canal, even because the process is going to be very, very slow. First we are going to first we're going to take the pilot, and then we will approach the first lock very slow. There will be 2 kind of a little train in both sides that are going to give us wires. So we are going to put first the wires on the bow, and then the other 2 on the stern. Then they're going to tie it up. We're going to be centered, and then slowly we start moving, because the trains, they're moving slowly. All right. So I think and I believe actually that is a very safe operation. Takes a while, because we first have to go up, and then we will have to navigate the channel for 40 miles, and then other locks to go down. So it takes almost 12 hours in the operation, but it's a safe one.
great question. We are up here. Oh, also, I just want to throw this out there. If you've never been through the Panama Canal, it's really cool to see all the views from upstairs. But at some point when we're going through the locks, come down to deck 2 and look out the windows, because it's so, for lack of a better term, trippy, just to see the walls. Like, here's the window and here's the wall from the, it's crazy. You're gonna love it. We got a question right here, everybody.
I've actually got 2 questions.
You got 2 questions.
2 questions. I'll do the easy one first. So it was great to hear that we're going to make up time. And all. What was the strategy? What steps did you do to make up the time?
Yeah, it's a good question actually, I like it. So everybody knows that we were, you want to know if we are on time and what strategy we used to arrive on time, right? Yeah. So obviously everybody knows that, the weather was very bad. We had heavy rain. It was even forecast in the weather forecast, right? Plus there was a festival in Miami, so a few trucks, they arrived very late, so they were giving us the F&B pallets and the technical pallets to load on board very late. Okay, so when you have a voyage like this of a couple of weeks voyage, you have to make sure that you have spare parts on board, technically speaking, and plus food and beverage for over 3,000 people between guest and crew for multiple days. Okay, so we were forced to remain for 4 hours more. All right. However, there were 2 ways to come down. One was going west of Miami, passing through, the Yucatan and west of Cuba. Another one was for the Old Bahama Channel. We chose the Old Bahama Channel because to reach the Old Bahama Channel, you don't go straight with your nose in the middle of the Gulf Stream current, which is very strong, up to 5 knots against, so we would have lost even more time. But we cut it transversely, so we went to the Old Bahama Channel. All right. Old Bahama Channel is a place where it's sheltered from the waves, so you can make a good speed. In fact, yesterday we were running with a 22, 23 knot speed. Okay, and the required one was 20.4. So we ran as fast as we could because I knew already that then once we are south of Cuba, we are going to be exposed to the strong easterly wind, which is we are experiencing now 35, 40 knots with the 7-foot swell. And then, I wanted to make sure that we had some extra miles in the pocket and then slow down a bit and deploy the fin stabilizer. Like this, we cannot feel the long swell. So everything was planned. So far we are on time and our plan is working.
That was a great question and a great answer. All right, that was the easy one. She's bringing the heat now.
You bet. So to put this in context, I'm an astronautical engineer. So all your SATCOM that you've got up here, you've got a number of radomes. You have anybody down there that can tell me what SATCOMs you're using and what's the radome strategy? Is it phased array, gimbal, dishes? How is it all arranged underneath there?
She didn't just bring the heat, she brought a volcano. That's a great question.
No, if you can please repeat the question because it was not, we couldn't understand it.
Okay, so you're connected to satellite communications.
Yeah.
Okay, what system is up in space that you're using? Empower or which satellite system?
But you mean the satellite for the TV or for, because we have quite a few antennas up there?
Yeah, you do.
Huh?
You do have a lot of antennas.
Yes. Now, which one are you referring? Are you referring to one from the TV, the one for the communication, the GPS one? There are many antennas.
Okay, yeah, I'm very familiar with GPS. But you're using differential GPS?
Yes, we do. Different GPS, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How about for just radio or satellite communication? Voice, data?
Well, we have a GMDSS station, okay? So, and the GMDSS station is a global maritime distress safety system, So it's a station where we can, in case we have VHF, which they have a very short range, and you can communicate with other ship. However, we can send messages even all around the world in case we are in distress. Well, I hope not. Let me touch some wood, by the way.
Hold on, these are very specific questions, and I have seen Speed 2 cruise control. Oh, never mind, nobody got that. That went over everyone's head. Any follow-ups? Okay. Is there anybody else while I'm upstairs? I'll be way on the other side. All right. Well, I made my way to the other side.
Can you hear me?
Don't worry, I'm coming to you. I can hear you, but I don't know if they can down there. But in the meantime, Francesco, our staff electrotechnical officer, is going to sing Britney Spears for you. He's not. All right, I'm all the way up here.
Okay, two easy questions. Number one, will I be able to see the national championship in basketball, the collegiate basketball? You have terrible chances.
Yes, you will. All right, no complaints, questions only. You're not getting the microphone back.
I have one more question.
I'll hold it.
Okay, the question is, what is going to be the fee going through the canal, and how is it calculated? Is it based on tonnage or passengers, or how do you work that out?
Alex.
Yeah. When you said the fee,
I'm going to stay right here.
so how much we spend to pass through Panama Canal? If I'm not mistaken, it should be $500,000 to pass through.
$500,000.
$500,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong line of work. We are all the way up here, Captain.
Quick question. What time do you estimate we're going to enter the canal?
6 o'clock in the morning, pilot station.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So practically we enter through the breakwater. We take the pilot at 6 o'clock. Then obviously the pilots they have to check first that everything is in good working order. All right. So we have prepared already a checklist that we have sent already. So they will make sure that all the informations are right. They will have to check a few ship certificate as well. There will be also a little inspection outside of the vessel, made most probably by the pilot boat. Then a few people that are going to come on board, authorities, the pilots, the people that have to go on the station 1, station 2. We will have a little briefing for the maneuver, and then we will start the approach. So I guess it's going to take at least an hour for the preparation before we start to approach the locks.
All right, we are right down here.
Hi, my name is Mike, and we were on the transatlantic on the last cruise. We had a few really pretty rough sea days, and there was a couple of big dips earlier today. I was just curious how you measure the sea swell. Is it a visual thing, a gas, or a mechanical, or automatic, or what?
Yes, we have a table on the bridge, and based on the high of the waves, we estimate how high is the sea, the waves.
All right, we are right here up front.
I'm not sure who will address this, but thank you, Captain, for the wonderful lunch for the Diamonds today. Sadly, it was at the same time as the Journeys talk about the canal. Will it be repeated for those of us that prefer to go to lunch with the Captain today?
All right, remember, this is about technical. Any questions about entertainment, I'll be happy to answer later on. No, there will not be repeated. However, Daniel, the naturalist, will be on the bridge all day in the Panama Canal, kind of narrating what's going on as we make our way through. I'm going to come back to you because you actually, all of a sudden, you get one question about the national championship and everybody's hands are up. All right, there was somebody back here just a second ago. Nope, it was over here. All right, there we go. You were the one that I spotted a minute ago. Okay.
So yesterday, we saw a ship that we passed. We saw it in the distance. We came up on it and we left it behind us. What was that all about? And secondly, am I too old to get a job with you guys?
Okay, so you were talking about the ship that we overtake yesterday. Well, Yesterday, as we said, we were in the old Panama Canal. Over there is a TSS, is traffic separation scheme, all right, where there are ships that are going eastbound and ships that are coming in westbound. Within your traffic lane, you are allowed to to overtake a ship safely, obviously. And we are always in communication because of the AIS system. So we know their name, we know the speed that they are doing, we know their destination. So we call them by name, we have an agreement, and then we say, okay, we are about to overtake you on your left-hand side or port side, technically speaking. If you help us in the maneuver, you may come a little bit to your right side, like this. We make it wider with the CPA, the closest point of the meeting point, the closest distance. And then we are in constant communication, and then we overtake the other ship, because most probably the destination of the other ship was another place where they needed to go a slower speed than we needed to go. We were very fast yesterday, So therefore we had to overtake a few vessels, and obviously always in a safe way. Even though sometimes they may look close, but this is just an optical effect, because the horizon is quite far. So as per our rule, whenever we can, we always keep 2 miles CPA, which is 2.5 land miles distance, at least.
All right, I'm still in the same spot.
Different person though. So are passenger ships only allowed to pass through the canal at certain times? I see a lot of other ships waiting while we go by.
Well, let's be honest. The passenger ship, they have a kind of a priority, because they have a scheduled itinerary, and they are most of the time the itineraries, they are very tight in schedule. I give an example. We cannot delay or we cannot wait anyone, because after that we will have to go to Punta Arenas. So instead, sometimes the cargo ship, they have a more relaxed schedule, so they may wait an hour more, 2 hours more, it doesn't matter. For us, instead, it makes a huge difference. So therefore, obviously there is a schedule in place, but when we say 6 o'clock we are going to be there, 6 o'clock they are going to be shut there, because we cannot lose any minute. There are other ships at anchor waiting for their passage, maybe days, and once we pass, there will be as soon as possible another one behind and another one all day long.
That if they fill up with water, the ship sinks.
So what happens if the ship sinks?
This is wrong question.
Why is there always water? So, the water that comes out the side of the ship? Okay, I'm curious about that too. There are little holes on the side of the ship the water is always coming out of. He meant, what's up with that?
I'm afraid to answer. Anyway, the bridge is always manned 24/7 with at least 3 persons. That there is the second officer or a first officer in charge of the watch, plus the assistant. And of course, we're gonna have as well the lookout with the binocular looking all the surrounding area. And all the water that you see sometime coming out is because all the tank that are by the ECR, by the engine, they have to have some point where to release the pressure. And if you see the water, means that there was some wave that was coming in, and the same water after that, it's just coming out.
I don't know about you, but I thought every time you flushed the toilet, it just went off the side.
These questions for the environmental law.
Now, I know that a lot of you have your hands up. We do only have time for 1 or 2 more. However, there will be more Q&As throughout the week, everybody. All right, we're right here.
Just a quick one. How much water does the ship draw?
Almost 27 feet, everyone. That was an easy, short, sweet, and to the point. Here you go.
Hi, I'm Susan. For the physician, can you tell us how many medical staff are on board and what are some of the typical problems you encounter?
So currently on a typical cruise we have 6 members of the medical staff, medical team, sorry. But for longer cruises, we currently have 7, which is 2 physicians, 4 nurses, and 1 healthcare assistant. And then the common things that we see: seasickness, your common colds like respiratory symptoms, and we do get injuries once in a while, especially from crew members.
All right, we've got one final question. No pressure, but let's make sure this question is as good as your hair.
Wayne Huckabee. So we supposedly, it was a rain delay is why we went off late. So what happens if it just keeps raining for hours and hours and hours and you can't load? What, you just wait till you can and we get that much further behind, or what?
You mean when we were in Miami?
Yeah, like what if the delay had been longer?
Yeah. Look, there are things that actually they are a little bit out of our control, because the fact is that if it's raining heavily, most probably on the pier they have their own procedures. In fact, I don't know if you noticed, but the people driving the forklift, they stop for a couple of hours. We asked them to start again loading, but most probably they have their own procedures which we cannot obviously go against it, let's say like this. On the positive note, this is a pod ship and we just came out from dry dock, so therefore the part that is in the water, the under keel, it's very clean now. It's just fresh painted, and we can make very good speed. There were moments that we were making 23 knots. So 23 knots multiply 1.2, we are talking about 30 land miles per hour. If you multiply 30 land miles per hour for 24 hours, you can cover up to 700 land miles a day. So it's a big distance. Sounds little, but continuously for 24 hours you can cover lots of ground. So therefore I would say that thanks God that we were on a potted ship.
All right, everybody, that is all of the time that they've got for us today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Captain and team, for your answers, of course. And don't go anywhere, because Bingo is coming up next, and we'll see you back here tonight for Carnival Live.